everybody, welcome back to the Underwater Photography Show. I am Matthew Sullivan.
And I'm Alex Mustard.
And today we have our next installment where we interview underwater photographers. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. We've done, I think, 4 or 5 at this point. And today Alex sat down and spoke with Nur Tucker. Nur is the current chairman of the BSoUP, which is British Society of Underwater Photographers.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we wanted to cover in the episode is really to introduce BSoUP, as we call it, or the British Society of Underwater Photographers, to a wider audience.
So I'm just going to read a little bit of her bio from her website. So Nur is a multi-award winning British/Turkish underwater photographer. She has been awarded in Ocean Geographic, UPY, UN World Oceans Day competition, among various others. And I think, Alex, the way you did this is how we've done it with some of the others, where she shows some images, she gives a little bit of her background, and talks her way through those pictures.
Yeah, it's always great to hear from photographers about their own photography. So I'm always keen when anyone comes on, even if we're going to talk about something else, to see some pictures. And then I quiz her on BSoUP and a little bit about it and what you might get as a member. So hopefully that is useful for people as well. So I guess without further ado, this is me talking to Nur. Well, I'm very pleased to say that I'm joined by Nur Tucker. Hello, Nur.
Hello, Alex.
It's nice to see you. And today I wanted to get you on as you are the current chairman of the British Society of Underwater Photographers that you and I will keep calling BSoUP, for those who aren't familiar with the name. But I wanted to, first of all, actually talk a little bit about your underwater photography. And I know you're both an above water and underwater photographer, but I'm going to keep you to underwater photography today. And I thought it would be fun to start by just having a quick look at a little bit of the range of underwater photography that you do, because I definitely think you do underwater photography very much in your own style. So I'm going to ask you to share your screen and talk about a few of your pictures, please.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Let's see. Let me try to share my screen. How's that?
Perfect. I can see a seahorse that I know well, as it was an award-winning picture in the Underwater Photographer of the Year competition.
It was my first big award, and I was so over the moon about this, and it has a special place in my heart. Thank you very much for that. When I first received the news of the award, I thought the judges made a mistake because I wasn't very experienced in joining these competitions, and it said most promising British underwater photographer of the year. And I was a bit confused. I'm like, wait a minute, I did not apply for that category. I think they made a mistake. And somebody said, that is one of the big awards. Then I heard, and I was very, very happy about this. Thank you so much for my award.
No problem. So tell us a little bit about this picture, because I'm very familiar with the seahorse part, but you've turned the seahorse into a really interesting image. So how did you achieve this picture?
Okay, thank you so much. So this photo was taken in Dumaguete, Philippines. I think I was in one of your workshops, but probably you didn't see this image during the workshop.
No.
I done a double exposure in this one. So what I wanted to do is, like, I was so bored of seeing double exposures, one sun blob on the one corner and then like a little macro nudibranch or something on the other corner. So I wanted to take the double exposure to another level. First, I took a very nice shot of this seahorse. It's a thorny seahorse from Dumaguete. And actually, it has a really nice eye contact here. I think I really love that. And it was quite a dark, murky background. You know how it is muck diving. I had with me a washing up scouring pad, which was a little bit shiny. I just very quickly basically took a photo of this. It was a slow motion. It was a quarter of a second, f/22, I think, with full flash. And it created these sparkles. And I just quickly tried an in-camera double exposure. I had to try a few of those scarring pad movements because some of them was covering the eyes, some of them was a bit too powerful. But this one worked really well. And a little bit of clearing out in Photoshop. And I sent this, and it won the competition of the most promising British underwater photographer of the year. I was very happy, and I continued from that, Alex. Shall I show you the?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Before that, I'm going to show you this very nice image as well, obviously.
There we go.
That was
Really nice to see Martin.
I know, Martin, Peter, and you. I'm very proud that I have a photo with all of you guys, and it was on all the press, etc. So I'm going to quickly move on. The following year, it's a similar seahorse. Many people know that I have actually equine photography in me as well. I do like taking horse photos, so it has to be a seahorse or a horse, whatever. So again, this is a double exposure, but I did light painting this time. And I really tried this one for a month to get this right, because I wanted to create this helizonic spiral effect around the seahorse. And again, what is essential is the good eye contact here. The seahorse is looking at me completely squarely, and these things around just the light painting. It worked really well, and I called it the Hypnocampus, and I think you like that.
Yeah, it's a good name. Yeah.
So anyways, thank you so much again for the commended image in here. Actually, I was hoping that it would do a little bit better, but it just stayed there. That's it.
I think it's I think probably if in a contest terms, I think you in our contest it was probably a little bit too similar in philosophy to the previous shot, although very different visually. And I think probably it would be a good picture to enter elsewhere, just because we'd already awarded the previous picture. And one of the things with UPY, because I know lots of people are interested in it, is because we keep the same judges year on year, the pictures we've awarded in the past do influence what we award in the future. So it quite strongly. So because it's the same judges.
Fair enough.
I think had this one been entered first, it would have been just as successful as the other one. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh, no worries.
Shall I give you some ideas about the, I also do this pool photography. Would you like to see
I would love to see some of that, because we've not even spoken about it in the whole run of the Underwater Photography Show. And I'm a great believer that pool photography is a fascinating and important part of underwater photography as a whole. And although it's a very different style of underwater photography, it's very much part of our world, whether that's contests or whether that's BSoUP. So yeah, I'd love to see some pool pictures that you've done.
Yeah, I'm gonna go share that. I mean, how it came out is like during pandemic, we weren't allowed to travel, we weren't allowed to go into places, and I was really bored. And we do have a holiday home in Turkey, and I do have access to a pool. It all started just trying to pass time and have some fun in underwater, and every day I added one element to the swimming pool I had, and it very quickly turned into a hobby. Let me start with this one. So I really love this image. I think I did 2 separate sessions for this in a pool. And this one, I have to tell you, all I did is rotate the image from portrait, from landscape to portrait, and I worked a little bit on the white balance, just to make it a little bit ice cool. Otherwise, there is not even a spot removal, nothing on this image, not even cropped. It just worked perfectly well. So this is Alice through the looking glass. I do try to cover the background of the pool. I don't like to see mosaic. So that's that. I have another one. There's always a friend or a relative or some kids. People love being a model. This is a friend of mine. She's posing for me underwater with just a mirror I bought. Actually, the whites on the top is my house.
No, it's really, I mean, it's the textures that, because you don't have, usually the surface of the pool is protected from the wind. You get these amazing reflections. And I think particularly on a dark background pool shot, the reflections are just always, fantastic. And, your composition is half reflection, half, straight. And then you've obviously got the extra reflection of the mirror.
Beautiful thing is, like, you just go underneath, and obviously it's just one breath at a time. We don't have scuba or anything. You just take one big breath, you and the model, and then you go down. This is exactly what I saw, and I just clicked. And the whites are actually, you see on the left top, that's like the window. This bit is like the windows, and it's the white of the house. Normally you would crop that, but I thought I like the contrast there. But
no, me too.
I have to correct you about the wind. It's an extremely windy place. Oh, the wind is so much, everything is flying around. It's very difficult to hold the fabrics that I cover the backgrounds. Everything is floating around. I'm gonna come in a minute. Like, for example, this frame. Do you know how difficult it was to keep that frame in place? It was flying around. So there are actually ropes going like this around here on two sides on the pool, and they are connected to some deck chairs on the side. Still, it was actually going like that. This is another one. This is my daughter who hates modeling for me, but I was begging her to jump into the pool on the sequin mesh. And actually, I made a massive error here because I bought this on Amazon, some sequin in mesh. I covered the pool with that and she jumped in it. The first time she jumped, you see all these particles falling off? I said, oh my God, what have I done? I created backscatter, killed the pool. This is going to be a nightmare. And I also said to her, look, when you jump, don't move right away. Just stay there until I take a few shots of you. And then she fell over. I discarded this image first time. And I said, this guy can't use. And one day I said, wait a minute, let me turn this into black and white. And all the sparkles falling off the mesh, it looked nice. I didn't even do any spot removal on this, just turned it into black and white. So here, Alex, this is my work process. I covered the pool side with different colors of background fabrics. As I have every color that you know, and different textures as well. Some of them chiffon, some of them upholstery fabric, which is thick. And I have some weights from the gym and stuff like that. Actually, I did drop a couple of weights and broke the mosaic of the pool, which my husband wasn't very happy. Here is, this is how it is done, actually. This is the frame upside down. The glitter part is down. And as you see, there are things here that are holding the ropes going through the pool. So I try to kind of keep the frame in place. It's very, very windy. Sometimes I do use a video light here just to fill in the gaps, depending on where the sun is. But believe me, you need the sun to create these beautiful reflections. I tried doing in an indoor pool. It's not the same effect.
Yeah.
And again, here, this is my...
Before the looking glass.
Yes, Alice through the looking glass. This is my housekeeper's daughter. She was having a lot of fun. She couldn't believe when I said, now you go into the water with that. She was like, what? And these are the, again, my daughter. This is basically just before she goes into pool. I make all my dresses myself. I don't have a clue about making dresses. I just simply buy the fabric on Amazon, cut some circles and some rectangles and some whatever squares. I stitch them together thinking nobody will understand how badly it was stitched together because it's underwater. I care about little details like this, the makeup and whatever, all these.
And it's all part of the creative process as well. So
no, it's just like, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. These little cheap things you go to. I spend a lot of time in Poundland, Primark, buying these face tattoos. And the only problem is I don't have any help. These underwater photographers, they have a team of lighting assistant, makeup assistant, hair. I do everything myself, and it's very tiring. You know, just fluffing up the hair, fluffing up the skirt, and just sort the frame out, go back, take your position in one breath, and do the meter reading and do the composition. Sometimes you have to be very quick. I love putting element of mirrors. It became an obsession. Different mirrors. These are, you know, the safety mirrors you find at schools, acrylic, bandy. I love the distorted images and the reflections. Here, as you see, I put some dark background. Again, she's got some funny, nice makeup there. Another friend, this one was part of the theme portfolio that brought me the first, the winner. I think it was Mark Drayton was the judge. He liked the portfolio. Again, a friend. I like these distorted images, actually. So this, I just wanted to give you a, you know, whole bunch of...
It's really great to see them all.
Yeah, it's basically, I was very happy that this image, Alice Through the Looking Glass, it did win a lot of topside competitions, a number of those, and finally it made it to the cover of the Royal Photographic Society's Creative Eye magazine. So I'm very happy. I just wanted to give you a flavor of very quickly the sort of...
Yeah, no, it's fascinating stuff. And I think you know, particularly with a BSoUP hat on for the as we're going to go on and talk about now, you know, it shows what a broad church underwater photography can be, in that, you know, yes, you can be into shooting nudibranchs, you can be into, you know, creative marine life photography, you can be, you know, into big animals, you can be into pool photography. And I think one of the great things of societies like BSoUP is they bring together photographers with all these different interests and different experiences within underwater photography together. And then you get this amazing cross-fertilization of ideas. So do you want to stop the screen share? Because I do need to put you on the spot, and explain to everyone who's listening. I guess the first thing I should ask you is, it's the BSoUP is the British Society of Underwater Photographers, but you don't sound quite as English as I do. So where is your accent from there?
It's really funny one. Thanks for asking, Alex, and just clearing it out once and for all. I was born in Turkey. I'm Turkish. As I explained before to Miriam Margolyes on a TV show, she said, "You don't sound very British. How come you're a British underwater photographer?" I said, "Look, my DNA is definitely 100% Turkish, but I do have a British passport, and I lived here for 33 years."
So
What is more important is, like, it just tells you about BSoUP and our reach. We are primarily a British club, but our reach is global, worldwide. We have so many members that they basically tells you that we do give the opportunity to have high positions to not just British people. And before me, there were other chairmen. I think I'm the third non-British or non-Britain born chairman out there, after
JP from France,
from France, and Marta Tressler from the States, and I am from Turkey. And I'm very proud to be their chairman.
Well, we're very proud to have you as well. So I think it's a great message, actually, that, you know, BSoUP has become increasingly international, because all the meetings now are broadcast online. And as long as you can tune in live, I mean, you can watch them back, but I think the fun is always being there live. If you find the evening time in Europe, which is kind of the middle of the day in the States, depending on where you are, or early in the morning if you're on the far West Coast, you know, it's a daytime tune-in show. And I think that's why, you know, particularly from the Americas, we've picked up increasing numbers of people wanting to join in, to catch the presentations. And I think something I know that BSoUP's really benefited from is, because the meetings are online, we're also able to get speakers from anywhere in the world. And I think the quality of talks we've had in the last 5 years, and particularly the quality of speakers, is the best I've ever seen in my, you know, 25 plus years of being a BSoUP member, because we've been able to throw the net so widely and attract the very best names around. I mean, you might want to tell us some of the people who've spoken in the last few years that you've enjoyed.
Definitely. We have a very big reach out there, and we have some very famous people, like, for example, Martin Brown came and talked to us. He is one of the world famous photographers out there. We are hoping to bring David Dubile very, very soon. You yourself, as one of the famous people who talked, you were very generous with your time. Thank you so much for that. Kirsty did a lot of talks, and Nick Moore, for example, is a great photographer.
He just gave the Martin Edge lecture, yeah.
Martin Edge lectures, exactly. So as you said, the talk and the content are becoming unmissable events month after month.
So let's I think probably you and I both know exactly what BSoUP is, but I suspect the average person maybe watching this is, maybe, you know, there must be people out there who will be learning about BSoUP for the first time. So what exactly kind of is BSoUP? Where did it come from? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, let me tell you, I think I'm going to start with the Google definition first. If somebody just types, what is BSoUP? BSoUP stands for the British Society of Underwater Photographers. And its motto is very famous: inspiring and informing underwater photographers since 1967. So it was founded in 67 jointly by Peter Schoons and Colin Doig. Colin Doig was the first chairman. I understand that they were first meeting at Peter Schoon's house. And basically they were showing around some images among friends from a recent trip. And very quickly, it became a big organization. In the 70s and 80s, it became bigger by about 100 people in the community. And I heard, and it's quite funny, that apparently Peter Skoons knocked the wall in his house to allow all these people to fit in, basically. So let me give you my description of what BSoUP is. I'm obviously very passionate about BSoUP. I'm very, very proud to be their chairman. So BSoUP is known as one of the world's leading underwater photography clubs. However, to me, we are more than a club. We are a community, and sometimes it feels like a family. What started as meeting in Peter Skoon's house or in a pub and showing and sharing some images from the last dive trip became much bigger. We are primarily a British club with the chairman with a Turkish accent, but our reach is worldwide. We have just under 300 members, and our international presence is growing each day. We have members from Philippines, from Cayman Islands, Mexico, Argentina. Needless to say, lots of European members and members from across the pond in the States. So how is BSoUP run, Alexis? We are run by a committee of volunteers. We all have different backgrounds by education, training. However, we all have one mutual interest, that is to create powerful underwater images. And we do care about disseminating the information. We do not like to hold it to our chest for ourselves to win competitions. Different skill set in the committee also allows to complement each other. These volunteers take their roles very seriously, and we all work very hard to make BSoUP run professionally, efficiently, like clockwork. We have recently heard the demise of so many underwater photography clubs, and I'm very proud to be their chairman. Shall I tell you what we offer?
Yes, yeah, kind of what, yeah, I think a lot of people will be going, what do I get if I become a member?
Okay, there is actually a lot you are getting for just a £35 annual fee. It's a very modest fee. Firstly, we have a 2-hour monthly Zoom call. You have already talked about the benefits of the Zoom call because we have a big reach in terms of members entering the Zoom and also the talks. It could be from globally, from anywhere. So with the whole world entering the digital era, we did as well. The meeting has a breakout room. We start that bit 30 minutes before the main meeting. We answer any questions that our members may have, no matter how basic or how technical the question is. This has been very, very popular. We do our best to educate the new and the beginner members. They are the ones that need the most help. We are aware that we have some world-renowned photographers among us, winning one competition after the other one. This may intimidate new members. So we do care about helping the beginners and newcomers. So this bit, answering the questions 30 minutes before the main meeting, has been very popular. The main meeting starts at 8 p.m. and what we do is we share some success stories from our members from recent competitions, and we do have a lot of those, basically. And we do have a monthly competition. During the monthly competition, we do have a different theme each month. We do bring judges from all around the world. What is important in this is they should join these competitions. The idea is not to win, but just to learn, to hear the feedback. This is a very subjective thing. Beauty is basically subjective, but you do hear the feedback about your images or about the other images, and you see a pattern month in, month out. What kind of images are attracting interest and attention and things like that. I think this is very important in the learning process. Definitely, that's how I learned myself.
I think especially when you've challenged yourself to come up with a picture that fits that theme too, and then you see how other people have maybe surpassed you, or maybe I think, yeah, it's a very valuable process.
Absolutely. It really helped me entering competitions to acquire a critical eye, what the judges may like, may not like, etc. That was the learning process. And then we do invite somebody to do a short talk. It's called the short talk. It's a 20 minutes, quick, snappy. We bring somebody who have won a recent competition, or it was published in a magazine, some iconic image. We invite the author of that image and say, could you tell us what kind of conditions were they? Where was it taken? What were the problems? And what were your camera settings are like? So I think beginners like this kind of idea, the camera settings and things like that. That is very good. So we do bring a lot of iconic images, some legendary photographers for that. And then finally, the last bit of it is we do bring a main talk. Again, some leading light, an interesting person, a main eminent photographer comes and does a talk. It could be an artistic talk, it could be a technical talk, it could be from sharks to wrecks, from caves to whatever, from conservation. So this is it in 1 month. So you get all that. Apart from that, we do like the benefit of the Zoom calls. However, nothing beats the bonding effect of coming together in the flesh. So we know that, we are aware of that. We do make an effort to bring people together. Obviously, since we are in the UK and most of us in London, some of them are in London, like the Martin Age lectures that we have launched 3 years ago. The last one of this was done at Imperial College. I think online and in person, some 70, 75 people joined that evening. It was very good. And you yourself was there as well. We do have, now it became a tradition that at the end of the year, around December, we do have a very elegant chic do at Royal Automobile Club, because we do have access to that club, and it's quite a nice, elegant environment.
It's a very fancy environment, quite a nice, it's an amazing venue. So
it's an amazing venue, very elegant, very historic building. And I don't do the rules, and obviously we are asked to wear a jacket and the leather shoes and things like that. But people like that. They're just once a year, towards the end of the year, we all come together, enjoy a glass of wine in a very elegant surrounding, and see each other, bonding, and talk to each other, and listen to a very, very nice talk. Like, for example, the first of that was done by yourself. Thank you so much. Actually,
I'll put a picture of me wearing elegant clothes in for everyone.
Oh, you were looking great in your tuxedo, Alex. That was really nice. And this year, to tell members that we're gonna do a talk on sharks, misunderstood creatures. That's gonna be nice. I think we're gonna be in excess of 100 people for that. So these are the in-person gatherings, but we also do some splash-ins for some legal reasons, insurance reasons. We can't announce them as BSoUP, but I tend to take the charge and say, okay, why don't we go and meet in Lundy Island and just spend some day taking photos of grey seals. And then afterwards, we enjoy a curry and beer. And hopefully we're going to do more of these, like Lundy Island or St. Abbs in Scotland. So we do some splashes like that as well. So we offer a lot.
And I think the society, can't officially always organize trips, but there are lots of trips arranged by members for other members who want to travel with like-minded people. So there's a lot of that opportunity within the society.
And I don't want to forget that we do have a really nice Facebook group, which is very engaging. There are a lot of members, and actually it is a platform for people to ask questions or to disseminate information. It's a great platform. And if people haven't so far reached out, it's very easy to become a member. We don't have to wait. You just click and become a member.
Yeah. So how do you join? You go to the website, which is
on Facebook. All you have to just look for BSoUP Facebook official page.
To join that, I meant to join the society as a whole, not just join the
Facebook. Sorry. It is actually super easy. On the BSoUP website, on the far right top corner, there is a button says join. You just click that, and they made it super easy to join. You click that. I think you can pay by PayPal very easily, and you can, if you want a direct debit for just basically automatic renewal. If that's not the case, we have even come up with a QR code. You just scan that. It will take you automatically to the payment page. You become a member, and automatically you will be enrolled on all the invites, emails, and MailChimps and things like that.
And it only costs about the same as a set of Eneloop batteries or something like that. So
It's actually
great value.
ridiculous. It's £35. And let me add you, if there are two people in the family, it's for two people, it's £35 as well. So because we can't exclude someone watching the Zoom call, that's fine. We should not forget that everyone now and then we have even come up with this photography book for all the winning images from the last competitions. We put together some really nice reads, like some nice coffee table books that have been popular. I don't know whether we will continue to doing them or not, but that has been very, very good for us.
They've been very beautiful, big, lavishly produced books, which members have really enjoyed. There's also the the magazine as well, which has a collection of articles written by members and also reproduces winning pictures from our own competitions and things as well.
Yeah,
but that's an electronic format, the magazine.
I mean, all I can say is super cheap. And also, if you are a student, for example, it's £10 only £10. While you're a student, that is nothing. It's just probably cheaper than a night at the pub.
It's cheaper than a pint in the pub these days, but anyway.
Exactly. And I'm really proud to be the chairman, to be a member, and people know that you are a member, and we are very lucky to have you as a member, and you're very generous with your time and with the talks and time and with mentoring us and lots of other prominent photographers as members.
Yeah, well, that's great. I think that's a fantastic place to wrap up. I will definitely make sure that the BSoUP website and the Facebook group are linked in the notes below the show on YouTube. But thank you so much, Nur, for joining us. It was amazing to see your pictures, and thank you for telling us all about BSoUP.
Thank you so much for inviting me.